Rob Venn here, and today we're going to be looking at the use of language in media. And we're going to be starting off by looking at camera work. Specifically today we're going to be looking at camera angles and shot types. Remember, this applies to both still and moving images. Now, when we're talking about camera work and shot types, there are four basic things we need to look at. 1. Shot types. 2. Camera angles. 3. Camera movements. And 4. Image composition. We're going to look at camera movements and image composition in later videos, and today we're going to concentrate on shot types and camera angles. Right, now let's start with shot types. Now, basically, shot types can be divided into close shots and wide shots. Close shots can further be subdivided into close-ups, extreme close-ups, and medium close-ups. What are close shots for? They show detail. They draw attention to things. They show motion. They're used for emphasis. In terms of showing emphasis, look at this. This is the extreme close-up. The extreme close-up gets in really in close to things. It's there for showing, details. If you were right up with your nose up close to it. More common, however, is the close-up shot. What defines a close-up shot? Close-up shots cut people off from their, it's head and shoulder shot basically. Cuts people off from the top of their shoulders, just beneath their chin, to just above their head, or sometimes through the middle of the forehead. Now, this is less common than a medium close-up or a medium shot. They are very close to the person's face. They show a lot of detail. They're used for emphasis. It shows the emotion on the person's face, so it's very good for big emotions. It's also a very intimate shot. We don't normally get to see people this close up, so it gives us a sense of intimacy. The medium close-up, or the bust shot, cuts people off, it's head and shoulders, but even further down. It gives us the chest to just above their head. Close enough we can see their face, but far enough away we get to see some of the environment and background as well. This is one of the most common shots you'll see on TV shows and films. Then we're into the wide shots. So, wide shots are far enough away that we get to see some of the environment. So they're there to establish the location, to establish the environment. They're there to show the spatial relationships between people and objects on screen, and they're good for showing action. So the first of these is the mid shot. The mid shot is a torso shot. It cuts people off from just above their belt line and to just above their head. Yep, we can still see their face, we can still see their emotions, but we can see some action, we can see the environment, we see the spatial relationship between the characters. Then we've got the three-quarter shot, also known as the medium long shot, the cowboy shot, or the plan américain, which means the American shot in French. Now, so called because it was the most common shot in classical age American cinema, which was dominated by the Western. In the Western, you wanted to see not just, the cowboy in a mid-shot, we wanted to be able to see their gun as well. So because of that, they would cut the shot off from just above their knees. And that's how we define a medium shot. Medium long shot. Just above their knees to just above their head. Close enough we can see their face, but we get much more of the environment here as well. Then we get the long shot. In the long shot we can see the person's entire body, feet and head. Again, good for establishing shots. Shows the location, shows the spatial relationships, but they're also very good for action sequences. Now, we can describe shots according to how many people are on screen. If it's a one shot, there's one person on screen. A two shot gives us two people. A three shot is three people. Two shots are commonly used for conversations. In this case, they're in a car, they're both looking straight at us. This is a common shot we see in TV shows and movies. It's good because they can have a conversation, but they're both looking in the same direction, so you can see both of their faces at once. If you can see all the characters looking in the same direction at us, that's called frontality. When you've got more than three people on screen, it's a crowd shot. Again, good for showing action. Long shots are also used for establishing locations. These are called establishing shots. Establishing shots are long shots to show us where things are taking place. They use mise-en-scène to establish the geographic and temporal diegesis and verisimilitude of a sequence. Mise-en-scene, everything in the scene. In other words, everything we see on screen. Geographic, meaning place. Temporal, meaning time. Diegesis, meaning the fictional world the story takes place in. Verisimilitude means realism. How convincingly believable is that world? In this case, this establishing shot is using mise-en-scène, like the palm trees and the sunny skies, and on-screen graphics to establish the geographic location, Compton, California, and the temporal location, 1987. Now, let's talk about camera angles. There's the aerial shot. Aerial shots are commonly used for doing establishing shots. An aerial shot is a high-angle shot that's been taken from the air. It is only an aerial shot if it's been taken from some kind of aircraft. Traditionally, this usually meant helicopters. But helicopters are expensive. They're expensive to run, they're expensive to operate, they're expensive to hire. Nowadays, more commonly, we're seeing drones being used. Drones are cheaper to hire, they're cheaper to operate. They are smaller, lighter, and more flexible. They can get closer to subjects. They can get closer to buildings. Obviously, aircraft are also used, like this one on the left here. This Learjet from the making of Inception, I think that's from. Could be Interstellar. Anyway, IMAX camera in this case, attached to the nose of the aircraft. They're often, like this shot here from straight out of Compton, used for establishing shots. This is an aerial establishing high angle long shot. You can mix these terms up, obviously, showing us Los Angeles. Now, other ways you can describe camera angles. First one's a level shot. Level shots are level shots because they're level with the character's eyes. Okay? The eyes, the windows of the soul. Eyes communicate expression, they communicate meaning, they communicate emotion, so the camera is level with that. It also helps to give us a sense of equality of the subject on screen. So this would of course be a level close-up. Low angle shots. Low angle shots, the camera's low down at the ground looking up. They are especially good for showing dominance, power, control. They make people look intimidating and scary or heroic. They make people look taller. High angle shots are the opposite. They're high up, they're looking down. They can make people look smaller. They can make them look intimidated. They can make them look powerless. They can make them look weak. Or they can simply make them look short. In this case, this is a bit of an establishing shot, which is why the high angle shot's being used rather than to make people look small and weak. A top shot is a kind of high angle shot that looks straight down, but it is not taken from an aircraft. This is the key difference. Aerial shots are taken from an aircraft, top shots aren't. Top shots are a kind of bird's eye view, high angle shot. They will be taken using something like this. On the left we've got a jib, on the right we've got a crane. They're essentially the same thing, it's just the jibs are smaller and cranes will often extend, jibs don't. Then we got the canted or Dutch angle. Dutch being a corruption of Deutsch, meaning German angle. It's off kilter, it's off balance. We're talking, well, it's not a very extreme example here, but you can be like a 45-degree angle, put the camera at. It makes things literally look off balance, off kilter. They're good for showing scenes that are creepy or scary, to make people look insane, to make them look crazy, to make them look dangerous. In this case, it's showing us that the confrontation between the band and the cops is antagonistic. Then we've got the point of view shot. Point of view shots show us what a character is looking at. They're very good for creating empathy with a character because it puts us in their shoes. In this case, this is what's called a subjective first person point of view shot. It is literally what that person is seeing as if we were looking through their eyes. In this case, they're driving a car. This is exactly what we would see if we were sat in that driver's seat. More common, however, is the over-the-shoulder shot, the third-person objective point of view shot. In this case, it shows us what this guy is looking at. We're looking over his shoulder. It shows what he's looking at, but it's not as intimate as a subjective point of view shot. These shots are very commonly used in conversation sequences. So that is a very quick breakdown of what the different shot types and camera angles are. I will link some more videos to the YouTube channel to give you more in-depth and probably more exciting definitions. They may use slightly different terms for the same things. Okay? Don't worry about it. Okay? Probably better off using the ones I've used because they're the ones going to be more familiar with the examiner, but it's the same thing. I will make these pictures, these mind maps, available on Moodle for you to download. You can annotate them yourself. Got any questions? Come and see me. Okay. See you next time.